What's up? This is Team Mugen Duel. This is all Gremlin. We got what's your name again? Eric. We got Eric doing a deck profile. I don't know what deck it is, so it's gonna be a surprise for you guys. So why don't we get right into this?
Alright, so this is a rogue deck. It's kind of my own creation. There's no certain archetype to it, but you could basically say that it's a level 4 and level 3 XYZ deck. It's pretty basic. Here we go. We start off with 3 Goblinbergs. These are basically the engine of the deck. You just normal summon, and then it lets you special summon another level 4 to get you any other 4 exceeds. Any other 4s? Yep.
Alright.
Or level 8 synchros. So following that up, we have 3 Rose Warrior of Revenge. These are level 4 warrior tuners. These pretty much make the deck. You get any level 4 warriors, XYZs that you want, or level 8 synchros. It's right away like that. Next up we have 3 Photon Thrashers. These are also really good at the beginning if you don't have a great hand. You can just special those right onto the field.
So is this more like a warrior-based type deck?
There's actually not too many other warriors other than this. I have about three warrior XYZs in the extra deck that go along with it, but there are a lot of other options that get generic level 4s out. So
it's like trail mix.
Yeah. So then next up we're gonna have 2 Nova Summoners. These, when they get destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, just special summon another light fairy type monster. It's basically, the idea is to always have another monster on the field going into your next turn. It's very good. So going along with these, we have 2 Shining Angels. These are very good. They go right along with each other. And if you use Shining Angel instead of Nova Summoner, you can go into DD Warrior Lady. This is very good if you need to get over a powerful monster. If they attack it, you just remove them both from play. So, moving into next part of the deck, we have 2 Tour Guide from the Underworld. These, great to have in your deck. You just, and 1 Tour Bus also. You normal Tour Guide, and then you'll search out for Tour Bus. You'll go into a rank 3 XYZ of your choice, and then you'll detach Tour Guide first, and then Tour Bus. Tour Bus will cycle back 1 Tour Guide, then you just search for another one. It's 1 extra card, and you get another level 3 XYZ summon. It's pretty efficient, actually.
Yeah.
So, next up, for some other cards, we have 1 Honest. Pretty obvious why you have an Honest.
Yeah, you have a whole bunch of lights in your deck. So.
Yep. Then we also have 1 Gen X Ally Birdman. Actually,
would you run 2 if you had the chance, since the ban list just came out, brought down to 1?
I actually haven't had the chance to test out Birdman that much in my deck. I just got it today, actually. But I had a Comrade Swordsman of Landstar in there for a level 3 tuner.
So he's more of a tuner base.
Yeah.
Okay.
I use him to get out a Black Rose or any other level 7 that I might add. So, we also have 1 Battle Fader, because this deck, to be honest, it isn't the fastest deck in the world. You might need to stall for a turn, so I'm pretty heavy on traps. And
so you only just run 1, you don't run 2?
Not in this deck profile yet. I'm testing out other stuff I might add.
For future reference, you might run 2 or 3, or you might side them just the occasion, depending on what you're running into.
Yeah, depending on what it is. It's a 40 card deck right now. It's right at 40, so you can probably afford to add another card or 2 in there. So also, we have Silver Sentinel. This guy, he's a level 4 warrior. And his effect is you set him as a back row, and if they try to MST your back row, you send it to the grave. In the end phase that it was destroyed, you target 1 card they have, then special summon him, and then you destroy the card that you targeted.
So you can target monster, trap,
1 card on the field.
1 card on the field. Right.
Nice.
Can you target your own cards? Have you ever tried doing that before?
I actually just yeah, I've done it. And you can. No, you can't.
I think it says just your
one card your opponent controls. So anything that they have, a powerful monster. It's good to get over that, and then you have another warrior monster for the next turn.
Okay.
So moving on from that, we have 1 Gores. It's pretty obvious why you have Gores too. It's if you end up with no field, he can save you in a lot of situations.
Did he run into any problems because of the fact that you play a pretty heavy back row? Or
in the case that I don't have any monsters, but I have a lot of back row, I feel like the back row is good enough that I'll be able to survive until I can get my hand back to where I can play monsters.
and then once all that, then you just this is kind of like a safety, like late game. Okay.
You know you're gonna take the damage, so you have you have Gores out and then a token of whatever they just hit, so you can 1-for-1 it next turn if you want. So anyways, the last monster that we have is BLS. It's there's a pretty good balance of light and darks in this deck, so there's a pretty good chance that you can get them out.
Is that it for monsters?
That is the last monster in this deck.
Okay.
Alright, so let's go on to the spell.
Alright, so first, we don't run too many spells in the deck. One will be Book of Moon. It's good if you're trying to get over their monster, they're going to attack it, so then you just...
Evil Swarms.
Yep.
Good example.
Pretty explanatory. 1 Mystical Space Typhoon. You can side in 1 or 2 more, especially in this new format.
With no heavy storm.
So
you're gonna need
would you recommend putting 2 or 3 in this deck, maybe?
It's definitely possible. I haven't tried with 2 or 3 in a while, so...
You have a whole bunch of monster cards. You probably could replace some of the cards to get more spells in there.
Yeah, and I'm still testing stuff out. I've added a lot of cards recently, so...
Yeah.
Alright. Next one, Reinforcement of the Army. Play 1 of those. This will search out Rose Warrior, Photon Thrasher, Goblinberg, or Silver Sentinel, whichever one
Basically,
you want.
to start your whole start the engine going and.
Yeah, if you have one of the cards that you need but not the other, if you want to go into Scrap Dragon or Stardust or Colossal Fighter, any of those, you have a Goblinberg but nothing else. Use this, search out Rose Warrior, and then you have it. And then going along with that, we have Warrior Returning Alive. This helps just recycle cards.
A basic warrior staple in a way.
Yeah, you sink for 8, and you can just bring back Rose Warrior and do it again next turn, whatever you have. So then also 1 Day of Peace is a card. We have, like I said, this isn't the fastest deck in the world, so you don't take any battle damage and you get a free draw out of it. And then the last spell card is Dark Hole. That's pretty
Basic
explanatory.
staple.
Too bad that Trinity's dead right now.
Alright, so
moving on to traps.
Yep. Traps, we run 1 Mirror Force. I might go 2 with a new format. It'd be good to have it. 1 Threatening Roar. It's very good for stall if you only have 1 monster on the field. You can just save yourself until the next turn. 1 Bottomless Trap Hole. It's it'll be pretty good in this format, as it's always been.
It's always been a staple in most decks.
So it's always good to have. Run 1 Magic Cylinder. You might want to, especially in the new format. It's a heavy back row format, so. But this is good. If you don't have a strong monster, they get something out. You'll take a lot of damage, and then it
Are you thinking about running more than 1 of these?
I've been thinking about putting 2 in there.
Just more consistency, and if you have 2 at once, it's just kind of nice to have. Potentially you could take someone else with those.
Yeah. Then going along with that in the same vein is Changing Destiny. What it does, it'll negate an attack like Magic Cylinder, and it changes their monster to face a defense. Then your opponent chooses one of the effects. You gain life points equal to half of their attack, or they lose that same amount. So
it's really nice.
It's at least as good as Magic Cylinder, if not better. It can set you up for another play.
Okay.
So going off of that, 1 Compulse, since it's limited to 1.
This card would be so good in the new format, but now it's dropped. It's a shame, yeah.
Especially since Star Eater's now a thing, so it's one of the only outs to that. We go with 1 Dark Bribe. It's good to your opponent plays.
Basically, the replacement for Solemn Judgment.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing I could say for that.
Yeah, it's they draw 1 card off of it, but 1 card can save you a lot more than 4,000 points will in this.
That is true.
With this. So, also run 1 Torrential Tribute. It's pretty self-explanatory. Your opponent goes for a full field and you just flip it. He'll save you at least. Run 1 XYZ Reborn. You're gonna do XYZ summons a lot with this deck. It's just you crank out level 4s pretty easy with it, so it's good to be able to recycle 1. And then we also run 2-Dimensional Prison. That's what I have at the moment. since it's a heavy back row now. So you'll want those if you don't have a strong monster out, then you don't have to worry about those. So that's it for the main deck.
All right.
Extra.
Moving on to the extra deck. For generic level 4s, we have one Maestro, one Sky Pegasus, one Pepple Imperative, and one Utopia. Sky Pegasus, it's kind of, I've won a few games with it actually. It's just like a mini cowboy, Gaga cowboy. Detach, target a face-up monster they have. They either pay 1,000 points to negate it, or they destroy it. So it's a win-win for you basically. The only downside is it only has 1,800 attack. It's very useful.
Expected to have a lot of attack with that kind of effect.
Yeah, you know. And then Utopia is pretty basic. Pebble Imperative, it's pretty good. They set a monster and yeah. So that's it for the generic level 4s.
Okay.
Alright. So for our level 4 warriors, we have Kamishiro King Arthur, Blade Armor Ninja, and Excalibur. So Excalibur is you get level 4 warriors. Yeah, you special Photon Thrasher, then go into Rose Warrior, or Goblinberg and Rose Warrior, or Goblinberg and Photon Thrasher. You get any of these out. And they're definitely good in a lot of situations. You just get a 4,000 beater right here. This guy will last you. You detach if you be destroyed by battle. Gains 500 attack and they lose 500 life points. Saved me in a few situations, honestly. So that's it for the 2 level 4 warriors. Yeah. And we have one 3 level 4 warrior, Battle Boxer Star Cestus. I had a Shockmaster in here, but it got banned, so I've been thinking about putting a Shark Drake in place of this, depending on the
thought
situation.
about Violent Sigma. I mean, that's kind of like the replace right now for.
I have thought about that. I haven't been able to get the card yet to try it, but pretty much any 3 level 4 warrior is a pretty good replacement for Shockmaster right now. It's kind of just a glaring hole in my extra deck, so. But he's pretty good. He can't be destroyed by the card effects in a battle anyways, so he can save you, and then they'll take any of the damage you would have taken.
Yeah.
So that's it. We have 2 level 3 XYZs.
Staples.
Zen mains.
Basically any rank 3 deck, or uses rank 3s.
Yeah, I've been thinking about taking out Leviathan Dragon for a Star Eater, because with this deck, I can't think of the combination right off the top of my head, but you are able to get out level 11 Synchro, so a Star Eater would be a very good card for the deck. Zen mains is the one you're definitely going to go into the most with it, so it's kind of more of a defensive maneuver.
Okay.
So that's it for XYZs. Now we have 4 level 8 Synchros: Stardust Dragon, Scrap Dragon, Colossal Fighter, and Crimson Blader. Pretty basic. Stardust, you can get into any of these pretty easy. Crimson Blader is very good against E-Drags or anything else that'll special a lot of higher level monsters. This also has a lot of warriors in the deck, so Colossal Fighter will gain a lot of attack if you use them late in the game with Goblinberg, Rose Warrior, all those in the grip.
Yeah, with a lot of warrior type classes, that'd be like a prior staple because due to the fact it's recycled its own self.
Yeah, he gets destroyed by battle, you can just bring him back. I think the guy in Worlds kind of.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was Worlds, but he won off of that.
Oh wow.
I can't remember. But yeah, Scrap Dragon's pretty obvious. You have a lot of back row, so if you don't have one that's too necessary, you can just pop one and then pop a monster that they have. So that's about it for our level 8 Synchros. And then we have 1 level 7 Synchro, that is Black Rose Dragon. You can use him with Gen X Ally Birdman or Tour Guide, or along with Rose Warrior. There's a lot of ways to get out pretty commonly. And it's just,
It's just such a good card.
just bring it out and blow up the field.
She tortures.
And we have 1 token.
A token!
The greatest part of any deck is the token.
Yay to the token!
So that is about it for this. That is my deck.
Well,
Good luck.
That was Eric with his rogue deck. I'm going to call it the Warrior Rogue deck because, a lot of the stuff is talking about the Warriors, but yeah, thank you, Eric, for joining us and showing us your deck. Are you going to be entering this tournament this Sunday, or do you have to go to college?
I am going to be leaving for college on Saturday, so I'm going to miss it. Might be, I'll be entering into regionals, though, hopefully in Minnesota. So.
Oh, I'm going to be in Minnesota too, so I might run into you.
We'll see how it goes then.
All right, this is all Gremlin, Team Mugen out.